Hello and welcome. I hope you had a good weekend. Mine was good until today. But it's fine. It'll be fine. Hi. Do you know what? When I see people I know, it makes me feel so happy. You have no idea. Okay, so we're going to do 2 stitches. One that is super easy and you already know. The other one that is also super easy, but I've actually never taught before. Okay, so we have a cross stitch, and this is called a herringbone square. Okay, I'm going to do the herringbone square first, and then we'll do the cross stitch after, because I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to do a cross stitch. But for this one, they are worked in a specific way. Okay, so it's a pattern. All your stitches should be about the same length, so keep that in mind. And you're going to do this little bit, then do a knot, and then do the next one. Okay, so cut your thread, and then make a new knot, and then do the next one. So you're going to have 4 little bits here, and then these here can be worked all down in a row, and then these over here can be all worked down in a row. Okay, so what we're going to do is the herringbone square. Again, I've never taught this one. It's not that it's difficult. It's just that it's more decorative and it's more like one little bit that you do. Does that make any sense? I hope so. So you're going to come up here and down like this. It's just 4 straight stitches in a pattern. That's really all it is. And then you're going to come up here to this one. Like this. And down here, like that. And then over here, like this. And this one here should be parallel to the first one. So you don't want it to be way over here or way over here like this. You want to try and get it as parallel as you can. Okay? So I tend to kind of place it. And you want it to be the same length. So as you see here, you want it to be about the same length here. So if you've traced it weird, like I probably have, just try and make it, just try your best, okay? Oh my goodness. I mean, I think it looks wonkier than it is, but it's fine. We've got another chance. And then here, and you're going to do the same thing on this side, like this. Okay? But for the last stitch, don't go over the top. You're going to go under the first stitch, like this. Okay? And then down. So I'm going to show you, bingo. Who was here for embroidery bingo so long ago? I think it must have been 2019 or 2020. Embroidery bingo. Right, I'm going to put this super close to the camera, and then you can see how they are crisscrossed, okay? So we have over Teresa. Me! Do you know what? I remember that so well because it was around the same time that we were talking about nicknames. And you said that your name was Teresa and people called you Terry sometimes. And you were like, absolutely not. Is that right? I feel like that's true. I feel like I'm right with that. Okay. So you can see here, I've got over, yeah, and then under this one. And then this one here is over and then under this one. Then we have over and then under this one, yeah. Over, and then we finish with an under. So it's kind of like they're all woven together kind of, but not, because they're just straight stitches. But that's what it is. It's called a herringbone square. So knot your needle, not your thread, with your needle, and then start a new one over here. So don't do one big long stitch over here, okay? We're going to do a new one over here on this side. And that was just right about the time when we were talking about different nicknames and stuff. And I remember in school, because my first name is just Tori, it's only Tori. Just Tori. We had this teacher, and she wanted us to write our first name and our middle names. And because Tori's so short, and then Stephanie is so long, my papers used to go to this girl called Stephanie, and she was brought up in a Baptist family, and they didn't have a television, they didn't have a phone, they were just like books, Jesus, like that's it. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? But also her parents were like, you will get straight A's. Period. Well, I didn't get straight A's. I got like B+, B, A-, A. Like I was kind of like in that kind of zone. And I remember one time she got a paper that had a B on it, just a B, just one B. And she cried. She cried her eyes out. And I remember being like, it's okay. Like, you can just try again next time. And she's like, no, my parents will be so mad. And I remember so clearly looking at the paper and being like, that's my paper. And she was like, oh, thank God. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, am I that bad of a person? We love embroidery bingo. We're hosting ours this month. Have you hosted it too? I did, but it was like a really long time ago. I'm not gonna lie. Like a really, really long time ago. Like I said, it was probably, I'll look it up, but it was probably 2000, maybe 2021, maybe? I don't know. I mean, anyone can do embroidery bingo. Like, don't feel like, oh my goodness, I can't do it now. Like, don't do that. But yeah, it was so long ago. And there's so many other things that you could do now that I didn't think of to put on mine. So there's the second one. And then do the other two, okay? Because I'm going to move on to the cross stitch one now. Okay? Right. Cross stitch. Let me just get a different color. I might do like an orange. I don't know why. It's kind of like calling to me. I don't really pick orange a lot. I should have picked pink. I love this project, but haven't even traced it yet because I want to do the larger one. I didn't have a piece of fabric large enough, so I want to be working on it so badly. Oh, I hope you find a piece. The dimensions are in the pattern though. I think it's like 16 by 21 or something. I forget. Oh my goodness. And then I had a scare that like my iPad wouldn't turn on. It was on charge for like 8 hours and it just wouldn't turn on. And I was like, oh my God. I was afraid all of my patterns were gone, but I think it's just the charger. So I was happy with that. We first heard of it from Stitchalong. We were so inspired. We've been hosting one for 5 years now. Stitchalongs are so fun. Oh, good. Okay, so a little bit about cross stitch. Normally when people do cross stitch, they tend to do something like this, where they do like this way, and then they go this way, and then they go this way, and they go this way, and then they come back and they go this way, this way, this way, this way, and they're done. Okay? So mine's a little bit different because they are individual X's. They're not necessarily touching, they're just kind of X's. So you can decide to do it how you want to. If you want to do all of the kind of one way first, so kind of to the right, to the right, to the right, and then come back and go to left, to the left, to the left, that's okay. Or you can do right and then left, whatever kind of suits your fancy for this one. However, make sure that your top stitch is always facing the same way. So if you want to do kind of to the right first, then you want your left stitch to be on the top every single time. Okay? So I'm just going to do kind of these 4. Mine are not touching at all. So they're literally just stitches like that. Just single stitches. They're a bit spaced out. We want to just make sure, hi Mel. We just want to make sure that our top stitches are all facing the same way. So I'm going to come up like that. So my top stitch is this one like this. And we want to make sure it's that one for every single one. Okay. And then that's all we're doing today. So obviously you can see where the pattern is, where there's cross stitch and where there is the herringbone square, because they're pretty distinctive patterns. It's so strange. The chat isn't showing. Click the bottom where the chat is. Like if you click the screen, sometimes it won't show up, but if you click the bottom where the chat is, sometimes it will show up. Yeah, easy peasy today. It's a Monday, so I thought, let's just ease into it a bit. So you've got 4 little bits here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we also have 4 stitches over here, and then we have 5 on this side. Okay, we had more space on this side, which is why it's 4 and 5. So if that bothers you, obviously you can even it out, or you can make them smaller. You can do like a double cross stitch where you have 2 lines. You know what I mean? Some this way and some this way. It's completely up to you. I know I say that a lot, but like it's your project. So at the end of the day, you've got to love it yourself. Also, there's a couple people who haven't had their names yet. I'm really sorry. I will get it today. I'm so sorry. Like I said, we've had a bit of news, so just trying to take deep breaths, and what happens happens. Yeah, sweet, easy stuff. Level X day. Well, to be honest, there's the book one is a bit different, because even though we really don't have that much left to do, we still have to cut it and make it into a book, so we've got a day for like French knots, we've got a details day, we've got a making it into a book day. Okay, so that's 3 days. So really we only have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we have Monday, Tuesday, really, because then we have Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, So we really don't have that much time left. Even though it should technically be 9 days, we really don't have 9 days because we've got to make it into a book still, And although that's not difficult, it does take a bit of talking through. Okay? And in the interest of brevity, we really don't want to be here for like 2 hours on Friday being like, right, we're just gonna cut it like this. Stitch it up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do it a little bit at a time. So really, we don't have that much stuff left. But I really hope you've been enjoying it. And if you're waiting for your name, just drop me a message, okay? I've gone through almost every single one of my DMs. I keep refreshing them. I'm even finding some from when I posted about the stuff in Minnesota. Even finding people popping up now being like, you're wrong. I'm like, oh, come off it. Like, it's been, almost 30 days now. Like, if you still feel you need to tell me I'm wrong, then like check yourself. just let it go at this point. Like you can think how you think, and I'll think how I think, okay? So yeah, that's what we have for the whole thing so far. So I hope you have a lovely evening. And I'll talk with you tomorrow. All right? Bye.